Yay, trying to talk to him. No, I love him. And that's a super impressive, like, I'm lucky if I speak English well most days. So to speak 4 languages is very impressive. See, he also has ADD, like he's diagnosed ADD. So, and he does talk about it. So trying to talk to somebody who speaks 4 languages, English being the 4th, and who has ADD, you're like, Sagini, are you home? Like, I need you to focus, I need you right here. But it just makes it fun and entertaining, and we had a blast on set, and he liked to torture me with how sweaty he was, and trying to hug me all the time. But no, we had a great time. We still do, every time we get to hang out, like at the events and stuff, it's great. It's our whole family. Yeah, he's my big brother.
To people that are doing the meal plans but have crazy jobs and don't always get a chance to sit down and eat every few hours or sometimes even at all, what do you suggest to be able to fill that?
Guys, I haven't sat down to eat a meal in ever. Literally, I waited tables through college. I worked double shifts. On the weekends, I worked after school at night. Like, I never sat down to eat, and I'm lucky if my food's ever hot. In fact, more often than not, I don't even like my food hot anymore because I'm so used to eating it cold. You get it in because it's fuel for your body. On those days where I was working 14-hour shifts and my clients were stacked back to back, it was like the running joke at the gym where I worked at Equinox. I had a cooler in the break room, which is like right there, like workout floor, break room. So in between clients, I would literally be like, start stretching. And I'd run in there and I would inhale my food. Who knows what it was, probably fish and asparagus. And I'd run back out on the floor and, shove a piece of gum in my mouth and get back to work. Because yes, when you're working like crazy, I get it, you're busy. But you can take a bite of food, it might not be heated up, it might not be the best tasting, but it's still fuel, and you're going to do your job better. By the way, if you're a nurse and you're not eating, please don't come stick me with a needle. I don't want you around me, if you're starving, and because whether you know you're crabby or not, you're crabby. Whether you think you're focused or not, your focus is down because you don't have fuel in your body. So when you pack for those days that you're going to be on a 12-hour shift, think about the things that are really easy to grab, like a banana or an apple or sliced up bell peppers or carrots, rotisserie chicken that you just pulled off the bone that you can, maybe you're not getting a whole meal in, but maybe you're constantly just grabbing and getting a little bit in. That's better than not eating at all. Because if you don't eat, you're just starving your metabolism and it is slowing down. And it does that anyways the older we get. So don't give it more reason to do that. She's got challengers are on Facebook.
Okay.
What are they asking?
Live.
Stephanie from North Carolina would like to know. Number 1, can we be friends? Number 2, when are you going to have more outfits in your apparel line?
Yes, we can be friends, and the full apparel line releases at Summit. Yay! Very fun. There's another 16 pieces coming. Yeah. And did he respond to you? I would not expect him to on that one. I'll see what I can do about a 21-day fixed bikini. We'll put it on a pre-order and see how many you get. 1.
So we hear a lot of people talking about the 80-20 rule with nutrition. I don't know your thoughts on that and if you actually abide by that.
I don't necessarily, it's a good rule per se, but that's not really how I do it. Mine is, I'm as 99%, I'm all in as often as I can be. That doesn't mean there aren't times where I have cheats. But if I'm following, my basic nutrition plan is 21-day fix, because that allows me to have wine on it, that allows me to have a treat here and there. So if I'm following that, then I'm essentially 100% on, because I'm not going to sit down and have 4 glasses of wine. I'd be in a coma, because I'm tiny and I just don't drink that often, so I don't need that much anyways. And same thing, I'm not going to sit down and eat a cake. I'm going to sit down and have a brownie. And our taste buds are pretty awesome thing. That when you cut all that processed junk out, it honestly doesn't taste that good anymore. I'm a Snickers girl. I used to love me a Snickers. Snickers, okay? Like, if you wanted to make sure I was happy, I used to have clients bring me Snickers at the gym to try to bribe me to make their workouts easier. They're like, but you have Snickers. But the funny thing is when you cut all that out, it actually doesn't taste good anymore. I would much rather make something at home, like from the Fix 8 cookbook, like the brownies or something from there, and have that compared to like a Betty Crocker brownie or a processed cookie. I still do enjoy an Oreo every once in a while, I'm not gonna lie. But for the most part, like if you get rid of that for a long enough time, you won't want it anyways. I like healthy food, so for me it's easy. But for the average person, I guess, if they're doing an 80-20, yeah, that's way more success than fails. So if that's what's going to get them to stay on track, then yes. There's been a hand up in the back for a while. Go ahead.
I have a question about modifying it for vegans. I have a couple of challengers that have struggled with the containers because they're used to, having beans be like a protein and cows as a carb.
We have a vegan plan. Yeah, there is a vegan plan. It took us a while to get it out, but it's been out for about 6 months now. It's a complete 21-day fix vegan plan. Here's the thing. When you order the kit, like the box kit, I don't know, like I know there's a spot online you could get access to the plan. I don't know where it is, check the back office. But I will tell you this, if you have Beachbody On Demand, it's in there. So like if you go under 21 Day Fix on Beachbody On Demand and scroll down, it's the vegan plan is at the bottom. So yes, and that is, our nutritionist Denise worked on that for a very long time. They'll see that the plan is a little bit different because you have like yellow A and yellow B groups, and how you pair them together could essentially equate to your red. So like they really got to read the plan a little bit more because it's not just like, oh, only eat from here. But it does work for vegans and it's great. He did an awesome job with it. So, yeah. Yes.
What would be your advice to, because a lot of mothers are on budgets, and eating healthy can seem expensive. What can you say?
Well, you used a very good word there. Eating healthy can seem expensive, but it's not. At the end of the day, it's really not if you take the time to do the prep work with it. And that starts at home with making your grocery list and knowing what recipes you're going to make for the week and that sort of thing. Because if you cook and there's leftovers, you have multiple meals. I actually just did a video post on this about a salad today, about like comparing. I went to 3 different places, got 3 different salads, and then bought all this stuff to make a salad. So the cheapest salad was like $3.99 from Trader Joe's, pre-made, but it was small. The most expensive one was $6.95 from Starbucks, but also single serving. And then I spent $19.93 at Trader Joe's, but I also got a huge bag of lettuce, a whole cucumber, a whole bell pepper, an entire thing of chicken, and a whole container of cherry tomatoes. So I had 7 meals probably for $20, or a salad for $6.95. So, so it can seem expensive, but I've done this test multiple times too, where I've gone through drive-thrus, literally, I mean, I don't eat it, but I've gone through it and been like, okay, if I was gonna get me and Dominic dinner, like what somebody might get from a drive-thru, and gone through McDonald's, I got 2 things, like it's not that cheap anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, it's really not. What I spent at McDonald's, I spent the exact same thing at Whole Foods or at Trader Joe's. And yes, again, I had to go home and make it. So yes, that takes a little bit more time, but I had multiple meals. So if you plan out your recipes, if you do your grocery shopping, you don't have to do your grocery shopping at a place like Whole Foods or Gelson's anymore. I've seen at Target that they have organic food now, and at Walmart's, like the big ones, they have organic food and healthy food. Amazon Fresh, that delivers right to your door. So that's pretty amazing. So it's more time consuming to eat healthy, but I don't believe it's more expensive. And at the end of the day, your health is way more important. So what you save on a daily basis, you're paying for later with your doctor's bills, or feeling bad about yourself, or your marriage taking a toll because you're constantly angry and feeling bad, or you don't feel pretty or sexy or any of those things, or you're yelling at your kids constantly, or your kids have issues because they're hyped up on sugar all the time. Like, these are real things. I know not everybody likes to admit it. I just had it with my son. We were in Palm Springs for 3 days. My son is super sensitive to sugar. Found that out when he was 2 years old. He was at school for a Valentine's party. The teacher let the kids eat just God only knows how much junk food. My son came home at 2.5 years old and threw a temper tantrum for 6 hours like nothing I've ever seen, to the point where I was about to take him to the hospital, because he screamed and cried for 6 hours and threw himself on the floor nonstop. And a 2.5-year-old you would think would get tired, and he didn't. So I learned very quickly my son is sensitive to sugar. So we go to Palm Springs. We're with these 6 other moms. There's 12 kids, and of course they want junk food every day. And I'm like, I'm not that strict on him. I will let him have it. I try not to make it a taboo thing for him. Oh my God, he has been a nightmare for 2 days. I'm like, you're done. You're done with sugar because you're torturing me. But it's the truth. It just is. He's super sensitive to it. I happen to know, I'm aware of it, but I think there's a lot of parents who just don't even necessarily realize that sometimes that's what's got them bouncing off the walls or not listening. So your sanity is a pretty nice price for eating healthy. It is for me. I'll do like 2 more.